Hi there. Hello once again for another session on wine number 5 for a fantastic white wine that we're going to drink. And this is called clisson. Clisson is a wine made by Laurent Perrault. Laurent Perrault is a French winemaker in the region of the Loire Valley. The Loire Valley is situated in the northwest part of France, in the sub-region called Nantes, where it's very close to the city of Nantes. It's very close to the Atlantic Ocean. So you get a very good microclimate there, having a maritime influence. And that maritime influence helps to make the summers a bit warm. Help to make the winters a bit warm. The summers won't be very hot, they'll be quite warm. So you're going to have a warm summer effect plus a warm winter effect. So the wines will have still a very high level of acidity in the wine. It will be amazingly high, simply because of the cold climate that it will have. It's also situated on the north latitude, which is like 48 degrees north latitude of the equator. So it is quite in a cold zone. And this is one of the wines that we're going to taste for the Loire Valley. We're going to taste the sub-regions of the Loire, that is Nantes, Anjou-Saumur, Touraine, and Central Vignobles, traveling from west to east. And they are very popular, Loire Valley, for white wines and also red wines. But in each sub-region, they have different grape varieties, both for white, for black, for rosé wines as well, and even fantastic sparkling wines, together with superb sweet wines that can age for decades in the bottle. This wine is called Clisson, which is the name of the vineyard, made by Laurent Perrault. You cannot see the word very well because it has a different font. It is the vintage 2015, so it is very rare to have a 5-year-old wine. But this wine is from Muscadet. Yes, Muscadet, not Muscat. Muscadet is the name of the grape and the name of the village where the grape is grown. So you have both ways, yeah? So in fact, the appellation is Appellation Muscadet, Sèvres et Maine, Contrôlée. Sèvres and Maine are two rivers within Muscadet that help to promote heat and ripening, because they are like heaters, natural heaters, that on the slopes they radiate the heat. So obviously it will replace cold air at night, and therefore it will continue the ripening process. The level of alcohol will tend to be quite on the low to medium side, not too high, 12-13%. In fact, this is a 13% wine. Actually, it is 13.5. It's amazing to have a 13.5% muscadet. They have 4 types of muscadet that Laurent Perrault makes, and this is the top level muscadet. Normally, they are very popular with the sur-lie technique, which means maturing the wine on the lees, so they get that bready and biscuity and toasty effect in the wine. But that is for at least the whole winter period till 31st March. But this is not sur-lie. This is a light batonnage. So when the wine is fermenting, when it is ready, they leave the yeast a bit in contact with the wine, but they agitate the yeast in the oak barrel. Yes, this is also matured in oak barrels. This is at least 36 months élevage or maturation in their own cellars, which you rarely find in a muscadet, because normally muscadet are only stainless steel fermented to retain the flavors of the grape. But this wine has the oak treatment as well, so it's going to create a different style of muscadet. It's not very common for us to drink muscadet with oak, and this is my first time actually that I have a muscadet that has oak treatment. So that batonnage or lees stirring, lees means sediment, also dead yeast, will increase the texture in the wine, and it will also give body to the wine and richness. But it will also give aromas of complexity. We call them secondary aromas of yeast, biscuit, sediment, and toast. There is also toastiness coming from the oak, because the oak will give smokiness, toast, vanilla, cedar wood, and obviously the sweet spices coming in from the oak, but a lot of smokiness. But smokiness is also coming from the soil. The soil is very typical here in Muscadet. It is called shale and gneiss. Shale and gneiss is a type of granite. And granitic soils give lots of minerality to the wine, stoniness. The Italians call it piedra. And it is very, very typical both on the nose and on the palate. And it's good because the oak doesn't mask those aromas and flavors. It's quite interesting. Yeah. The winery is called Domaine de la Vinconniere. Domaine de la Vinconniere. Domaine is a chateau. It's an estate in the Loire Valley. They call them domain or domain. Where it's in Italy, they call them a tenuta, where the wine is made and matured, basically. Yeah. So we're going to have quite an interesting muscadet over here. And this wine is also offered by Centani, by Vintage & Co., by René, who I think knew what to select when he went to the Loire Valley to Nantes. He got, I think, a very good muscadet Sevres. Let's analyze it on the appearance, nose, and palate. This is vintage 2015. So we said in the first wines of Chablis that when it's green, it's very young. This wine is lemon. It's got a pale lemon intensity, as you can see. It's going on towards a medium. So a medium lemon color will indicate maturation, also development. But that deepness of color is also coming from oak. Yes, because oak will increase the color from green into lemon. So it has both the maturation of 5 years and also that medium lemon color. Signs of development. On the legs, you can see that it's quite not normal to have this medium style of legs over there. They're quite on the high side, and it's not bad to have that style. So that will present a medium level of alcohol. On the nose, I get a medium plus intensity. It's not so high, but it's complex of that mineral quality. We said the stone, the minerality coming in, very, very typical of the granite soils and shale and gneiss within Muscadet. You get that stoniness feel and very typical of terroir characteristics. But it's very well combined with the smokiness of the oak. Not only the smokiness in the soil, the smokiness of oak, smokiness, toastiness, vanilla, sweet spice aromas coming in. I do get a bit of cinnamon coming in, a bit of cumin coming in. Yeah, with age, the wine will develop more cumin and cinnamon, in my opinion. More sweet spices coming in, which will dominate the fruit aromas. The fruit is based on very ripe lemons. You get a lemon juice with this wine, with this dish. It will combine perfectly. Very ripe grapefruit, like pink grapefruit, I get. Extreme high in limes. So citric. That citric fruit character. And the peachy aroma comes in. Yes, and that indicates very good quality ripened fruit. We call it a stone fruit character of peach, apricots, and also some nectarines coming in. Lots of ripeness in this muscadet. Tertiary, I get nuttiness. That nuttiness is coming in from the oak maturation, from the complexity of the soil. So that nuttiness of almonds, hazelnuts, they're going to take over the fruit with age. So this already indicates good aging potential. Let's check the palate. On the palate, it's totally bone dry. There's literally no sugar left in the wine after fermentation. The acidity is on the medium plus side. Obviously, after 5 years, it would lost its level of acidity, but still on the high side, medium plus. The body is quite medium bodied. Normally, a muscadet is lighter in body style, and the intensity is quite pronounced, the same as the nose. The primary fruit of citrus and stone fruit character, the minerality quality coming from the soil, the smokiness of the oak coming as well, the vanilla flavors, full of sweet spices, bit of cumin coming in, and the yeast character of batonnage, the yeast stirring technique to increase the texture in the wine. And the finish is quite medium plus on the high side, not that long, but on the medium plus finish. I still think, as a conclusion, that this wine is excellent, and I think that this wine will age for another 10 years in the bottle, 8 to 10, 8 for sure. So I think that this wine has a minimum of 10 to 15 years aging potential. So after 2015, this would be 2025, 2030. And that's when the wine will end. Always according to storage conditions, as we said. 10 to 15 degrees is the cellar temperature, but when you come to serve this wine, you need to serve this wine optimally at 10 degrees. 10 degrees will be optimum, not too cold, not too warm, because it's got a medium bodied style, you have the oak character, so you don't want to serve this as at 8 degrees. It will be too cold, yeah, because the coldness will literally affect the wine badly. With food, spicy wine, yeah. Go with the sweet spices in white meat, white meat and chicken, veal, poultry, and then you're gonna have fantastic combination. Oh, don't forget the seafood. They are very popular with seafood there in Nantes, and very good with the cholesterol of acidity, cutting the fatness and muscles, prawns, lobster, and all octopus, clams, spaghetti alla vongole, and all the sweet spice, all the seafood that you can imagine. Yeah, acidity. Remember, cuts fatness in the food. Thank you very much for listening for wine number 5. I'll see you next time. Thank you.